Hi, I'm Kira, and you are tuned into Model Mama. Today, we are going to speak with an amazing agent from the industry, model management in New York City. He is going to share some tips to the business. Please watch. Okay, so thank you for doing this interview with me.
No problem.
Okay, so today we're talking to my dear friend George, who is actually, do you care when people say George? Are you like, excuse me, my name is Jorge?
So,
Because I've never asked.
I actually personally don't care, but I know a lot of people, especially like here in the US, people get crazy and try to correct. And the crazy thing is people correcting me how to say my name. So like with my family, like I grew up in the Dominican Republic, so I just go by Jorge, which is my name. But then when I moved to the States, since I was like in 4th, 5th grade, I was just called George, and it just kind of stuck. So I've always introduced myself with George.
Okay, so this is my friend George, or Jorge, whichever you'd like to call him. And he is a wonderful agent in New York with the industry model management. So you've been an agent now, I mean, what is it, 16 years?
16 years this year, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
You're getting
Which
old.
is crazy because I'm like 21.
Me too, honey, me too. I'm only 21.
Mathematics, I don't know how that works, but yeah.
So what got you first interested in this business?
So like everyone else, back when I was in college, I actually was going to school for pharmacy psychology. And a lot of people that I know in the industry who are agents, none of them decided, I want to be an agent. It just kind of fell into it.
It's like an accident, right?
It's like an accident, but also it's the right kind of accident, because I feel like the people who are agents in this business, you either get it or you don't, kind of a thing. So the agents that stayed in the business, they just fell into it, and they just right away found out what a passion they had for this and what an eye, and they kind of stuck it out. And but mostly everyone started at something else. I fell into this because I was going to school and working in a real estate office, and in that office I was managing it. They shared office space with a fashion production company. So when I was either we weren't busy or I wasn't doing homework, I would just be watching America's Next Top Model, and one of the agents that was helping in the fashion production company walked in and was like, that's not real, right? It's not like that in the business. And I was like, what? And then when I found out about it, I just gravitated towards that person. I'm like, tell me everything about fashion. I want to know.
Right.
So then from then on, I would be in the office, but I was barely focusing on what I was supposed to be doing. And I would just be helping in the fashion production or listening in what they were doing. And I kind of decided, I'm like, I'll work for free. I'll help you guys out, whatever you can. And that's it, rolled into that.
Wow.
So I kind of became an agent because of that.
Right. And you started first with Wilhelmina in Miami, right?
Wilhelmina, Miami. So I was deciding if I'm going to continue in my career or I was going to go I need to focus. Am I going to go to pharmacy school? What am I going to do? And then this lady who I was helping in the fashion production company was called to go run the Miami office. She used to work in the New York office. And actually she's our EVP of our LA office now. And she had told me I'm going to go do this. Do you want to come work? But I was like, I can't. Financially, I can't do this.
Right.
And she was like, well, here's my card. Change your mind. I don't really think that you want to do real estate. And I don't really think that this is what you want to go to school for. And I actually was questioning, do I want to do this? And she's like, so give me a call. And then the fashion production company owner came and sat down. And she was like, turns on my computer, sits me down and gives me the most amazing life lesson. You know what, you're young, you should try this out. Why don't you go see if you like it? And if you don't, they're going to take you back here or whatever the case is. But I'm telling you, I see something and I don't feel like you're in the right business. You should give this a try. This seems like you could be really good at it. It's one of the only businesses where, first and foremost, women are stronger than men. It's a fact.
Yes.
And it's the only business where women make more than men, and women are the focus, where men are accessory. Where in any other business, finance, this, that, it's a male-dominated industry, not this one.
No.
So I thought already this was kind of cool. The second thing is that it's never the same thing over and over, and it's not a routine as far as going into an office in a cubicle and doing the same thing. You get to be creative, and it's a case by case, model by model, client by client. It's always something new or trying to figure out this puzzle of like, okay, how can we turn this girl to be able to work into this, all while also helping them achieve their dreams.
Right. It's very artistic. It's
very artistic.
You know, I mean,
creative focus.
Yeah, it's not just the models that are like creative and artistic. It's the people that work with the models, because we start with the vision. Like some people don't even know that they have the potential to be a model, right? You know, we
100%.
Find people on the street, and maybe it's a girl that's just like awkward and never really thought of this industry as an option for her, and we see it. We're like, oh, I see her doing this and this and this, and then we help manifest that. So it is a very creative, job. Yeah, I think.
There are models that want this, and this is their dream. And then there's people that this wasn't necessarily their dream, but they have the potential to make this a very amazing, lucrative career. And then you, whatever situation from all walks of life, you end up taking them out from a situation that they necessarily would not have had and change their lives for the better.
Right. Can you go recap a little bit about what's the difference between a boutique agency and more like a network or a big agency?
So a boutique agency, it's more of a smaller, a larger agency. They usually have a lot of divisions. So and usually those large networks are agencies that have been around since the beginning of, the modeling industry. So let's say like the bigger names like Elite, IMG, Wilhelmina, Ford, Next. They've been around for years and years and years. So they've been in the business and have learned all these different niche. So they've grown and have had to add divisions: a men's division, curve division, fitness division. Right. So those are larger networks, where the boutique is more focused on one specific thing, and the boards are not necessarily having hundreds and hundreds of girls. Right. We are more focused on the management of, let's say, 50 girls that we are like just focusing on longevity and career management. That's what more of a boutique. So boutique is a smaller scale. Doesn't mean they're working with less clients or anything. The fashion industry, it doesn't matter the agency. There's not, even though it looks so large and it's worldwide, there's not that many clients. Everyone, no matter whether it's a large agency or a boutique agency, we work with all the same clients. We all know the same casting directors. There's not that many to begin with. In a boutique agency, you get to have that human connection, that more catered management, where you're getting that one-on-one treatment.
Right. And it goes the same for even my part as a mother agent. There is not enough time in the day for me to deal with hundreds and hundreds of models. Like, I would lose my mind. I've already lost my mind with the 40 that I have. This is a common issue for me, is what agencies are looking for and how they look for them. So my first question is, what's your best tool for finding girls for the industry specifically?
For us specifically, as far as tool, I mean, nowadays social media is such it's part of our life now.
Right.
So I mean, social media, Instagram, TikTok, those are places that we scout, where before there wasn't such easy access. So people would have to actually go to scouting conventions, and you would hear all these crazy horror stories and things like that. But it's what you had at that time. There wasn't the access to be able to put yourself out there, be seen by people all the time. So that happens. And then we also depend a lot on, amazing mother agencies like yourself, that you guys are in a specific market. You guys are finding these amazing girls as well that maybe they're not on social media. Maybe you're just finding them because somebody recommended them or whatever. And then you guys are able to help us skip a step, in the sense of you guys will be able to see the model, kind of already know what the agencies are looking for, and see the potential of the person. So you guys do the basic training of explaining how the business works, giving them at least like a quick intro, one-on-one, polishing them up, helping them, okay, let's get you a haircut, let's start getting you a test shoot, so that we are able to present you to these bigger agencies who are gonna, place you, and then grow your career. Right. So
talk to your parents, explain things to your parents. Yeah.
Exactly. Kind of like giving them the introduction before being put in an agency that's going to be like, okay, here's the business part of it. Let's go, kind of a thing. So for us, that's super.
So social media,
social media,
mother
agencies from the market.
Right. And for mother agents that don't live in big, huge, metro, like fashion cities, that's a real way that I find people is out in the street. Like, I don't go street scouting per se,
exactly.
But like, that's how I find people from my daughter's high school or at this, at the mall, or I was in Starbucks, or,
I mean, I would just tell people it's kind of like, start small. If wherever you are in your area, like, search what agencies are there, or I mean, back then people didn't have Google. Google is your best friend,
right?
Like, for everything. So
YouTube is your best friend. That's what my son has taught me.
Actually, YouTube is your friend too. YouTube. That's why I learned how to do everything in cooking all the time.
I didn't even know about it. What, in your opinion, is the perfect age for a girl to start in New York?
Since the Me Too movement and everything happened, 18 legally. Is when you could do a lot of certain other clients. It doesn't mean that, okay, until you're 18, you're not going to do anything.
Right.
It's more of a 16 to 18, you're going to be building your book. There is a lot of things that you could be doing to already prepare yourself so that when you do turn 18, you are already good to go for all the bigger projects that are career changing kind of a thing.
Right, exactly. And I have, that was my answer too, but I've just, everybody has a different opinion on, don't have a girl come till she's 18, or have a girl come when she's 16 and develop and work small jobs. And, everybody has a different opinion, but I agree with you, hence me having two girls there right now that are 17.
Right. You have to have a lot of patience as a model in order to make it. Sometimes girls make it right away, and even underage. So it just happens that it kind of works out. Sometimes it takes a little longer for other girls, but again, each case of each girl is different than the other. So it's different for every person. But between 16 and 18, it's great to get started solely because you're able to learn how to, your agency will work on you on learning, getting you test shoots set up so that you're able to learn how to move when you are working with paying clients. It gets you to start building your book, to, start getting your feet wet, kind of like anything else, is putting you into the field. Right.
Because really in this business, it's like first impressions, lasting impressions. Like, you imagine if you're 18, you're absolutely beautiful, but you've never been in New York, you've never been in LA, you've never been to Paris or London, and then all of a sudden Stephen Meisel sees you and wants to book you. Well, and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know how to move. And so you might take that one opportunity that you've just been given and go flatline. Because you don't know what you're doing.
You would think like, oh, maybe I'll have another chance. No, people will remember you for however they met you first.
Right. Okay. So just a couple more questions. What do you find is the most common mistake for people submitting to agencies?
I don't feel like people realize that even though this is it's an image-based industry, they just think that, okay, here are my pictures, I model, kind of a thing. And it's like, okay, before it used to be a business of more, you're there to be seen, not heard kind of a thing. But again, it's turned so much about, it's more than just being a beautiful face. There's so many beautiful people, but now everyone wants to know more. Think about it in our human side. I want to know somebody that's interesting, that's engaging, that like, I want to know their story, or that you're so behind this person, or you think that their message is so powerful, you want them to succeed. So that's the same thing. So I think in submitting, people have to just not send their pictures. Tell us more about you. What other interests aside modeling make you, special, or it's going to make you stand out than another talent. So I would also not just focus like, I want to be a model. What do you think? Like, tell us other stuff about yourself. It's like any other job that you're trying to interview with a resume, that you have to list all the things that qualify you that are good. Think of it the same way. It is a great, cool business, but it also is a business, which people tend to forget. So sell yourself by telling us all the other things that you're interested in aside of modeling. What other things set you up aside from modeling? So that's the mistake that most people do. They don't, it's just like, okay, I'm pretty.
Here's my pictures. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I know. And I get it. I get that the industry in the past has sort of made it that way, but the industry is not like that anymore. People want to know who you are.
Too.
Yes.
It's so inclusive. It's a change for the better, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Want the story, and there's more inclusivity.
So really quick about COVID, because that's rocked everybody's world. How has it affected the industry specifically? And what are some of the positive ways it's affected it and some of the negative ways?
Some of the positive ways for sure has been because of the lockdown and the world kind of ultimately shutting down. I would say it's been positive for a lot of new faces. I keep on saying the fashion industry has been so oversaturated with models and people, and then you have the models that have been established for years, that those are the same girls that you keep on seeing in ads and things like that. So breaking a new face pre-COVID was very, very hard, and it's pretty much like a competition, trying to get them to be noticed or trying to see how you could get the clients to see what you see in this talent to get to that level. But with COVID and everyone being on lockdown and people having to stick to their own countries and their own areas and their own states and not being able to travel so much, it has given a chance for clients who still need to life needs to go on. We still need to make money. We still need to do all these campaigns and things like that. It has given an opportunity to for clients to see new girls that they never would have taken a chance in right away. Eventually, through the years, they would take a chance of the girl. So it's made the competition a little more even in the sense of new faces are able to be seen. The negative, I would say, actually, there's not much negative. I will say it's a different way of working. It's just the new normal. It's a new normal that everyone has had to learn. You have to, depending on your area. Luckily, New York, there's centers to get COVID tested like any time of the day. So before every job, you get COVID tested. This has made it more of models have to work for their earnings and things like that, in the way that there's not that many castings going on. So models have to, every day I'm texting models like, hey, this client wants digitals or selfies. So it's taught the models to learn how to take digitals or selfies in place of going to castings or before, because you can't just have people going to meet people in person, or the models just come into the agency every time for us to do digitals. Now they have to be very involved with their business and very hands-on. So they have to send us constant casting videos, send us constant materials to be able to book. And each client, even though she sent me a selfie for one thing, I might send another client asking if that client has a different request or wants the video shot differently. So it's kind of made the model be more hands-on. And, when these models are making $5,000 a day or $10,000 a day, before there was a team of 3 stylists, 2 hair, makeup, and a makeup assistant. Now, to be able to, keep it COVID safe and follow the CDC rules, sets are less. They maybe not want to, they'll have the girls do their own manicures. They'll have the girls like, hey, you know what, we're going to not have makeup artists, so we're going to do more natural. So the girl has to be more involved in the career, which has also made the models more appreciative of the business, because they're having to work more than usual. Not that they didn't before, it's just now.
But now it's more involved in the process. Yes.
Correct, which also humbles the girls.
I agree. Okay, so now if you were not an agent, I know you told me before you were in real estate, but I don't think that would be what you would do now. But if you were not an agent, what would be your career? What do you think you would be doing?
I mean, I've always found I was going to school for pharmacy psychology. I don't think I would do pharmacy. My sister's a pharmacist, and she's like, no, I definitely would not have done that. I do think something maybe is like psychology is involved in everything. I do feel like having that part has helped. This is a business that we're dealing with people, lots of different, characters and things like that.
Right.
So to this day, without even knowing, I'm using a lot of the stuff that I studied in school.
Right.
So I don't know if I would be a psychologist, but I also feel like I always like to feel like I'm having a purpose or helping someone else out. So I don't know if necessarily that or something in a nonprofit organization to help people with cancer, something like that.
So 2 more questions. If you were a model, what would your dream job be?
I feel like a lot of models need to know the business or try to because a lot of girls back in the day when Victoria's Secret was like, oh my God, the biggest thing
I want to be a Venus model.
Every person, I want to be a Victoria's Secret model. I could have literally in any interview told you this girl wants to be a Victoria's Secret model.
Same.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, me too. Of course.
Right.
So,
I want a Victoria's Secret model body.
Yeah, body, exactly. So, but I do feel like a lot of girls that go into the business are like, I want to be editorial, but they don't know what that means. I want to be high fashion, but they don't know what that means.
Right.
Where I personally seeing the business now, and the models that are more successful are well-rounded, and they get to do a lot of the high-end money commercial, because this business can be, very, as we know, very, very lucrative. So I want a balance of doing like what I like to say, classic beauties that you can do no matter how much fashion changes, you will always be relevant. So I would like to do a balance of money and editorial.
Right. So you have your creativity and your dollars. Give me my coins. Correct. And give me my little Vogue covers. Yes. Okay.
Correct. And then using that, because you network a lot with in this business, you travel the world, you network, so you could build your own brands from this and realize like, oh, I actually want to open up my own bikini line, or I want to carve cloths doing the coding thing. So there's so much you could use this business for. So for me, I would love more branding and making good money to be able to
go into
open up into something else that this opens a door, like using one thing for the other, and that they simultaneously help each other. Right. So not necessarily one client.
Yes. And that, so many times now I talk to girls and guys, and this generation especially are very clear that they don't want to work for anybody. They want to be entrepreneurs. And I think that's so refreshing. That's refreshing. Like, that is so refreshing. And if they understand they have to put this work into it in the beginning, I mean, it's incredible that the generation thinks like that. And so for me, I always tell models, like, this is the best way to get that done. Maybe take some online classes and get your business degree, so you know what to do with your money when you get it. You know how to write a business plan when you need to, or whatever. But utilize this window of opportunity where you can travel the world and network with people and really, really focus on your branding and take a step into like your own world of entrepreneurship.
Correct.
I think it's incredible.
It sets you up to create, either to stay in the business. Some models are like, no, I just love the modeling aspect of it. Right. Some girls end up discovering other stuff that they're like, actually, I like the acting side of it. I would have never known. Or I end up opening up my own business from this. So this opens up the door for a lot of possibilities. Right. So that's a very exciting part. But I agree with you about getting a business degree, or like having that to know how to turn this into something bigger. I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so if there was only one piece of advice you could give to an aspiring model, what would it be? Just one thing.
One thing.
That you think is the most important, valid thing from you.
Don't compare yourself to anybody else.
Ooh, I love that.
You are the only you that exists. So it doesn't matter how this model or friend model of yours, how they're doing, what they're doing, when they're doing. Like I have said, and I will continue repeating, this business is case by case, model by model, client by client. So what's going to be for you, it's meant for you. And basically, you can't compare, let's say if you're a brunette with green eyes, like you can't compare yourself to your friend who's a blonde. And you don't know what her journey was, or how long she's been doing it, or whatever the case is. Just stay focused on you being the better version of yourself, and then be patient with your own time, and it'll happen. But comparing yourself is the worst enemy, especially in this business. Comparing yourself to
comparison
why is doing this, and why am I not doing this?
What is the saying? Comparison is the thief of joy. Yes. That's so true. So
that would be mine.
Yeah. Oh,
stay focused on you and your journey.
That's a good one. Mine is that's a good one. I also think being patient. Just
patient. Yeah.
Patience
is good.
Patience.
The biggest thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, it could be like this for you, or it could take 1 or 2 years longer than it took so-and-so, but then when it's your turn, it could be even bigger. So
it's all in the journey, right? It's all in the process.
All in the process.
And that's just in life in general.
Process, yes.
Trust it, yes. And trust the people that you put on your team.
100%. Trust.
Let's say that again for the people in the back. Trust the people you put on your team. Okay.
Trust your agents. They have the best interest in you, because it's a business. If you succeed, we succeed. If you're making money, we're making money.
Correct.
So trust that that's what we want for you. We're not here to be against you, or else we wouldn't be working with you.
Right. That's crazy. Okay. And so final thing, I have a question of the day. I do this at every interview. It's always a different question. And yours is, you have to choose, tell me which one. Nicki Minaj or Lil Kim?
Little Kim is a classic.
I
She is
know.
a classic, but I'm a Barb. Don't ask me about, I'm also a big Megan fan, but
Right.
Nicki.
Yes.
Nicki is Nicki.
Yes, I knew you were going to choose that because you're not old enough to really ride with Lil Kim the way you need to.
Yeah,
that's me, like that shows our age difference. We won't talk about that anymore.
I'm a Barb. For sure.
All right. Well, I have taken enough of your time. I appreciate it. I know you guys are super, super busy and swamped, and you carved out this little time for me, and I do love you and appreciate you.
Anything for you and for anyone watching this. I just want to let you guys know that I've been working with Kira for over 7 years out of the 16, I would say, around there, 7 or 8 years.
Actually, I did the counting. We met in 2009.
Oh, really? I was trying to think yesterday. I'm like, wait, how long do I know Kira? And I couldn't figure out the mathematics.
Yeah. I mean, we might not have started really, really working together till like 2010. But I mean, hello.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time. And we've seen some of your girls grow from like very, very young to like full-on adult successful women. So I personally feel, and I will say this, this business is a very personal business, and I like working with people who are just in general in such a cutthroat industry that are good people and always want the best interest, and with me being and who are knowledgeable of the business. So being a model represented by Kira, to me, I think I already know I'm gonna get best quality girl, well groomed, educated, and just given the ins and outs. So I personally want to thank you as a mother agent for staying so level-headed, being so kind, and also so on top of everything with all your models. So you make our jobs easier. So for me, working with you, and I didn't have to say this, but I'm letting you know, I work with people that are like-minded, and working with Kira is always a pleasure. And I know that if you're a Kira girl, you're a star.
Aw, thank you. Hence you having.
And that's not on that.
Hence you having how many?
Like right
9.
Now,
I counted.
I was gonna say 10. Yeah.
9.
10,
maybe 10. I got to do the numbers again, but like that's a lot for. Yeah. Anyway, and that's because I love and respect your entire team. You're all kick-ass. Like, I love you guys.
Thank you so much. We love you.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Tell everybody I said hello. Give them all kisses.
I will. It was a pleasure hanging with you for the day.
Thank you.
Friday better. Now I'm going to go answer the calls of your models. Gotta go.
Don't call me with no bullshit. What I tell you? I tell you this every Friday.
Not on Friday.
I tell you every Friday. Don't call me. Don't call me. Don't lose my number.
Our rules are this: I don't bother Kira with bad news on Friday, and she doesn't call me on Monday.
Right.
It's our exchange.
Right.
Deal.
Exactly.
Bye.
Okay.
Happy
Bye.
Friday.
Thanks. You too. So that was my friend George from the industry, model management in New York. I hope you enjoyed the time with him. I hope you enjoyed all his tips and good advice. I am very thankful that you are here, and I hope you come back next week. And if you like this, please, because I'm coming with some good stuff every week, please like, comment, share, or subscribe. And subscribe. Please make sure you do that. All right, I'll see you next week.